The plain truth. Hello. And hello, flat earth researchers, debaters and debunkers. Good morning from the UK. Hi, Sanyon. Good day, good day. Yeah. How's it going? Hope you're all it's morning here in Portishead in the UK. Still stuck here. Thailand closed for now, and so are the embassies. Hi, Hemp Alchemy. All right. Hello. Yeah, it is interesting, isn't it? Of course, if you're a flat earther or you've been through the globe deconstruction, then it's of course easy to see what's happening here, and we're still in this culture of scientism, and we have this religious-like belief or bowing down to a culture of science, scientism. We'll just watch this boat as it goes. And of course, that's what we're suffering under now. So, it's kind of, I was thinking about the whole cause and effect thing. And of course, with the globe, you've got these beliefs in causes and effect. For example, the moon is said to cause the tides, where there's no evidence whatsoever to dictate what it's doing to cause that. And so with all of these things, with the globe belief, the heliocentric model, there is no real science. Sure, things can be measured, things can be seen happening, but it is of course all down to interpretation by the so-called scientific community. And of course, we've been raised in a culture that is to have faith in the scientists, as well as the other faiths that go along with it. But it is just like any religious faith, and it seems as though through the ages we've had this battle or swapping or a division or a sharing perhaps of the adherence to particular beliefs or sects. Just culture becomes part of a country's culture, and we know that we are dealing now with a so-called global culture, which is of course very highly connected. Some of you are watching from all over the place, and that's some great science in action. Wonderful, so we can be excited, kind of proud, maybe somewhat, of the advancements in technology that we've made. But of course, we are still stuck in a belief systems, and everything about the globe is based on faith and explanations. So that's why these explanations and the faith in curvature and what have you and gravity are called scientism, because they are just a belief. Good morning. Who's that? Willow? Sorry. Yeah, God's beautiful earth. Hi. The earth is very flat. Yes. And hemp alchemy, and what part are we going to play in this game? Well, yeah, I suppose that's the thing, isn't it? We've by now we're all aware of the way some kind of agenda is pushed and propagated on the media, through the media, and of course then it becomes part of the culture. I mean, we're seeing it full force now. With you turn the TV or the radio on, or just get online, and you see the sea fear, the virus fear, being propagated everywhere. And so it's easy to see now in how this this belief can be created in the minds of the masses, whether it's a belief in what the Earth is and its place in the universe, and what we are on this Earth. Of course, all based on the fear of death. So, sorry, the main thing I've got lost. Oh, sorry, lost you there for a second. It says I'm live again. Cause and effect has never been truly determined. So that's, the yin-yang thing is very, the yin-yang symbol is, I think, a lovely description, a visual description of everything. This, hi, cool pics, hi Sandy. With cause and effect. So we understand, of course, that this someone somewhere is pushing this agenda to have us, which ultimately ends up in having us enslaved in a belief and literally enslaved in our homes. What is the actual agenda? Is what's happening a side effect? Is it temporary as people really start to think about the implications, or really start to experience the implications of a single-minded drive to have us fear, dis-ease, and go for the vaccines and medication that are offered to cure this alleged dis-ease? Is that the only driving force? Is there something much more in it? Because that's just business, and as far as I'm concerned, if you want to promote that and do that as your business, then that's up to you. And of course, it should be up to those people who wish to follow. I'm sure we've all found that it's pointless trying to wake a lot of people up, even though it would seem obvious. But quite frankly, there are a lot of people that really thoroughly enjoy what's happening because it gives them direction. They become more dynamic. They become inventive in crisis mode. There's something to do, something different, and this change for many people is a welcome one, because they, hi, Level Earth Observer, hey, and look at the chat, you lose my train of thought. Yeah. So ultimately, it is up to us as individuals, isn't it, to discern. I think discernment is one of the key words here. And for those of us who try to use discernment, then we can see that we're always dealing with individuals and individual power trips or egos and what have you. So, but in the mind's eye of many other people, they often use the word they. They say, they're telling us to do this. So who is the they? The they is the authority, and this authority might be something that is said in the newspapers or on the TV. You go and look at the newspaper rack today, and you will see the tabloid newspapers all using the same headline. So you'll have every sector of society, hi Corey, being given a particular message, a singular message from a singular press release, from where? From the government, from them, from corporate interests, from a public relations company working for who, WHO, or whoever, these hi Go Busters. So of course, we get this impression that the they is a single entity. It is, we with a kind of crowd mentality. Well, a crowd, but with a single personality. But I think what's interesting to see is the contradictions that people will hold in their heads. Here's a good example of I heard about a neighbor who was at the beginning of this so-called crisis, given this job to build a morgue. And so this group of, I suppose, construction people had to have some training on how to build a mass morgue. Well, they were sent home before the training was complete, and this morgue that was initially commissioned to be built was never built. So, you know, we don't see that we aren't experiencing the body count, and that's becoming obvious to many. So the fear would instantly disappear for most people if it wasn't being constantly broadcast on the mass media. There is just absolutely no way. And it's only now that people are starting to have the discussions that they should have had, or having the realizations that they should have had beforehand. However, most discussions and so-called debates or whatever, phone-ins and what have you, still don't dig under the foundation of the con that we are living under. This appeal to scientism. So of course you have scientific advisors working very closely with government ministers, and we all know that these scientific advisors are lobbyists. They, you know, their aim is to make profit, to open channels for business, and the reality of the situation is that is what the government does. Its job is to make money for the treasury, and they make money with our money. They use our taxes to invest in private ventures, and the PEF being one of them, I strongly suspect. And of course, you know, we are used as human resources and guinea pigs sometimes to reach those ends. But of course, what I'm talking about is the individuals. It's always individual influences and influencers that are single-mindedly aiming for a particular personal goal. Of course, a really great way to do that is to come off as a philanthropist in the mass media. In fact, a couple of days ago, I saw it was the Times. I don't know if it was just for this region or for the entire country, but the Times newspaper had a picky of Bill Gates on the front, and of course, he was basically telling the Times, or telling the world, that if mass production of vaccines is required, he will provide the resources to do that. He's ready to take on that role. Yeah, so of course we can see this very apparent and clear agenda for corporate interests, and one wonders if that's all it is. Is there anything more than that? Is it simply business, and is it a bunch of other opportunists taking advantage of the situation? You know, of course, these things are discussed in groups and meetings well in advance, and of course each individual opportunist can then see how they might benefit, or how their corporate interests can benefit, and away they go. So again, there's no, you know, it's no big secret, right? None of this is secret. It's all there. All the information is there, and even the Financial Times, for example, will highlight some of the, of course, the financial aspect of this, and well, of course, that adds to the doom and gloom, the fear. But yeah, I think you know, as long as that could be going on, fine, I wouldn't mind, as long as it wasn't infringing on our human rights. That's the thing. This is what's I think big concern now is that usually, these beliefs and things that people have, you leave them to it. It's like, okay, fine, you believe that, you wanna get protection against something that you fear, then okay, go ahead. But there should be that freedom of choice, of course, and we are all free to believe whatever we like. And so this is a concern of belief, because I personally do not believe what we are being told, and haven't believed those kind of things for a long time. And I believe, of course, there are individuals or small groups of people with their own agendas that know that they can carry out certain things, or at least try. And it is up to us. We do have the freedom to believe or not believe. We have the freedom, we have the right to work. We have the. It's funny. Another funny story I heard. It was so funny. Thinking of that Monty Python scene in The Life of Brian, blessed are the cheesemakers, because he was having a little chuckle while he was interviewing this particular cheesemaker who has changed his business. He's now adapted to about say 200 lots, and that's all kind of slowed down and stopped. So he's now he then changed everything to making smaller batches and delivering to his local market, and he's been buzzing around in his van delivering to individuals rather than delivering to wholesalers. Now, the irony is that, of course, the law, the rules that came in with the lockdown, of course, were that you should stay at home, and of course, businesses were affected, and so they were expected to go down the pan. But this guy, is kind of by doing what he needed to do to survive and employees, he actually had to go against the rules. And if there was some kind of deadly lurgy being spread by hands and feet and what have you, he would have done much more damage by doing it locally than maintaining his distribution to wholesalers. However, I see this as a really positive thing, because it's is the key, the tyranny in the bud, because and it can work. Everyone, and that's how it often works in Asia. You have this decentralization. You have certain provinces and certain areas that they specialize in this or that, and that goes on trade-offs. One particular area might have salt flats, so that's what they make. They make salt there, or certain types of fruits go in certain areas, and it all works out. The whole country can survive on its own with its own resources in that respect, and the same could very much happen here. So I'm sorry if I'm ignoring the chat. Let me go and have a look. Okay. I kind of had my round. Let's see what you're all saying. Thanks ever so much for coming along, by the way. It's been a while. Been quite busy. Actually, I've got more work now than I did before, so it's good. Zoo Scott, hi. Someone asks, what's the agenda? Well, again, leave them to it. We know that this spinning world of global commerce exists and is its own entity. And again, this is where as long as we are aware that we are still free individuals and we are totally entitled to our beliefs for good reason, fine. What to do next? On navigating it You have to believe. And all the countries that are involved in this have all signed it. Go and have a look at the human rights laws that have been brought in by the UN, I suppose. If you go to Amnesty International's site, you can see it very clearly laid out there. And you go and have a look, and yeah, all these countries that are involved in this have signed this agreement that has become worldwide international law, that everyone and anyone is entitled to hold their own belief, and they have the freedom to earn a living, to find a way to feed themselves. Yeah, this is an inalienable right that we all have. Oh, sorry about that. Sorry. Okay, we're back. Okay. Selenion says the freedom to earn a living, kind of an oxymoron. Yeah, okay, yeah. Well, there's always work, isn't there? To feed ourselves, we have to work. Birds have to work. All animals have to work to survive, to consume. Zoo's got United Kingdoms and 10 days. Oh, very well put. Okay, you can still get a message in Bali. God bless them. I need a haircut. Pretty bad. Yeah. Freedom to be self-sufficient. That's a really nice way of putting it. So, yes, and that's the thing. We should all be aware of that. I think, obviously what we see now is people suffering because, they haven't been following that kind of lifestyle. So there is this great dependence, and of course you see people demanding, or hear people say, the government should do this, they should do that. So there are these, demands. The usual problem reaction solution thing. Of course, the ideas are planted in the heads and in the minds. You'll hear from day to day. You'll hear a couple of things become the news. It's amazing, and everyone will discuss the news. They will have their little moments of stress and anxiety about the news of the day. And that's the thing that they will concern themselves with, and that's what they will talk about when they meet someone else. And to be honest, before all this, I remember walking past someone and they would go, "Oh, well, so Philip Schofield, the Good Morning presenter, he's gay then." Oh gosh, this is the kind of stuff that people discuss or care about. Again, because it's shoved in our faces first thing in the morning. People, it's funny, isn't it? You wake up and a lot of people will turn on the TV and or the radio, whatever, and boom, a message is being planted in the head, something to think about. However you react to that, of course, is up to you as an individual. And of course, one of the best decisions any of us can ever make is to turn the thing off and throw it away. So yeah. And my dear mother made a good point the other day, because we do have, she's obviously totally sold on the whole idea, and now believes that she is a vulnerable person. But and she said, yes, but millions of people want a vaccine. And she's right, I can't argue with that. They do. They actually want it. Of course, we know that that's because there's this fear, and there is also this notion that that's what should be done. That's what they say we should do, and that's what we agree with. Again, the cause and effect. Where did it all really start? Who's causing who to have what effect? Of course, we know that the media isn't reflecting what the people think or demand. The media is pushing an agenda, and of course that prompts people to have certain beliefs, thoughts, and consensus. Consensus is generated through scientism, and yeah, it will pass, it will change, and of course we've got a lot of people saying, oh, there's the new normal and all these catchphrases. It's funny, and it's no different to someone in North Korea starting a sentence with "our dear leader." Yeah, it's the same thing. It's exactly the same mass hypnosis, and thankfully many of us are free from that. So we don't need to be stressed by it. We don't need to be drawn in. We just need to carry on doing our individual thing. Going and protesting in groups and things might be kind of defiant, but no, don't that you're just wasting your energy, I believe, on trying to force a change which is not going to happen because people are protesting. Again, any kind of changes made or will be put down to other reasons. It won't be because 10,000 people protested outside Parliament, so we're going to do this now. It's not, that's not going to happen. They're never going to announce it like that. So gathering to protest, although it does send a message, it is also energy draining. You're giving the energy vampires your energy. Hello, Rose Tinted Monaco. Hi, Daniel. That's it's just the way I'm playing it personally. Of course, it is an issue, and it does occupy one's mind all the time, because as soon as I hear the TV or the radio, my heckles go up. And because of course I'm sure it's for what's that, Daniel, my second cousin and his wife came over and gave me hugs. Wow, very thankful. Oh, lovely, that's great. I am a bachelor, therefore I have not touched that. Oh, wow. Ah, dear. Yeah, Daniel, well that's good, isn't it? That's really nice when someone overcomes that fear. I mean, this is the thing, a whole new culture has been developed, isn't it? People give each other air hugs now, for goodness sake. But again, it's for a lot of people, it's something to do. It's new, it's fresh, it's exciting, and of course it's been passed off as a kind of a struggle that goes with a country at war. Yeah. So I think interesting. There's a lifeboat station over there, and of course they haven't been going out because people haven't been going out. But one of the guys, the chiefs or whatever of the lifeboat thing, was saying, "Okay, Sandy, say hi to the dog. Have a good one." That he suspects they will get more call-outs because people will commit suicide. There's a couple of very high bridges over there in the distance where people do tend to jump off if they want to end it. What's that, Baron Brunswick? I've been sat at home a month, so... Yeah. But it's just so-called norm. That's what will happen. It will be this slow release. There won't be official announcements. There won't be an "it's over" moment, but there will be gradually less and less talk, people just get complacent. A new enemy will come along, a new thing to talk about, a new focus. But it is interesting, isn't it? Of course, how we can see the entire Earth's population as we know it has been put under this spell. Higher level, yeah, execrate high. Yeah, and we for the most part we see that, and thank goodness for that. And I think, yeah, this is it. You see, often what we're dealing with is individuals who do not have that intrinsic ability to see things from another person's point of view. They often think, well, I wouldn't do that, so they can't perceive or imagine or believe that certain things will be carried out by individuals with a different mindset. And that's the thing, we often see or hear things, and because of a particular mindset, a training of the mind, an opening of the mind through a very arduous process, a process of wanting to explore the thought process and the belief process, then we see things very differently to others, and but at the same time we can see, if you're a kind of, what would you say, a sensitive individual, where you pick up on vibrations or unsaid messages, what have you, from different people, you quickly get a feel for the kind of person they are. Often there are some people don't have that ability. They don't have, so if they can't think it or wouldn't imagine doing it themselves, then they can't imagine other, for example. There's a bit of intellectual laziness there as well. I'll just take the story as it's told, and that's easy. That gives me an answer. What's that high level? Such a really okay. Yeah. So some vaccines. Yeah. Again, all you've got to do is dig around a bit. Dig under the surface. The information is there. It's always there. It's not necessarily hidden. It's just that it's not broadcast by the mainstream media in a way that would have is those who have made up their mind about what this all is, or are relishing the current situation and are prepared to go along with it. It doesn't matter what information you present them with, they will not change their mind. They don't want to change their mind. They are happy with the status quo. The status quo has been, changed, adapted, and as far as a lot of people are concerned, they just want to go along with it. And okay, fine, that's up to them. But it's also up to us if we don't believe it and don't want to go along with it, or realise, but we can often waste our energy trying to convert those who don't want to be converted, who aren't ready for it. They're happy, And even though we often say things or do things with kind of course, if you see someone being robbed or see someone being deceived or lied to, you want to point that out to them. And so that is philanthropy. However, it doesn't come across as philanthropy. It doesn't come across as benevolent. It comes across as worry or an attack on one's beliefs. There's we can't, or we can only be an advocate with ourselves or with our family. And be be how we expect. It is obvious we we do create. So this current situation, even though it's worldwide, has been created, but it will fall apart as well, because there are so many things that these single-minded entities, in their pursuit of profit on a large scale, didn't think about, that are now coming about. And as individuals put their experiences into the pot, then of course that will create change. So it is organic in that sense. Going through this is going to be organic, and there is no need to fear an ultimate end game, or assume that there is an ultimate agenda other than the usual smoke and mirrors to make money. Yeah. So, my hands are getting quite cold, actually. It's been lovely so far. But I'm going to have to sign off now. And thank you very much all for joining. Doctor's only interested to inject the kids. Oh, okay, yeah, I know. And again, it's just belief. It's just what they're told to do. But lots of doctors, and we've got to shout out to Sandy. I know she's gone now, but for the doctor that we've seen.